Hi everybody, welcome back to Critical Mass. Today we have another classic review in mind for you. This time we're going to take on a subject matter that I think a lot of people would steer away from nowadays in this political climate and social justice warrior world. And that's that of women getting together to find themselves a millionaire. With three very popular actresses of the day and a very popular movie in How to Marry a Millionaire. Alright, How to Marry a Millionaire, I've seen many times. I know these guys just watched it probably for the first time ever.
It's a first for me.
I'm guessing.
Yeah.
First off, what did you think of the very opening of the live band performing an entire number before the movie actually even starts?
I will say that was 7 minutes entirely too long.
I thought I had clicked on the wrong video and I didn't understand why there was this orchestra playing for 8 minutes. That's not part of the movie.
See, what you guys don't understand is back then that was the thing, especially in these kind of music. Even a movie back in the day of Battle of the Bulge had an opening like that.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think that that's how they just did it live, because don't forget, they didn't have the computer generated graphics to have all these flashy things at the beginning and everything.
When the orchestra starts, everybody finds their seats.
Yeah. That's
What I find crazy is that this orchestra score wasn't even for this movie because Betty Grable used it in her next movie. So
maybe she just liked it so much.
I guess.
That's the best 8 minutes of my life.
Why do it again when we already have it?
There you go. So the premise of the movie is these three ladies move into New York. They get a luxury apartment and start trying to find millionaires. They only need one, right? One of the three ladies has to marry a millionaire, and all three, they'll look after each other.
Now, of course, they spend every dime they have acquiring this luxury condo. And so you can see throughout the film the furniture sort of starting to disappear as they're selling it off.
They actually rent a furnished apartment and sell off the units, the belongings, so they can keep paying the monthly rent.
So the reason they're doing this is they're calling it the bear trap. If you go and live in a high-class place, you're going to be in the midst of a bunch of high-class males.
It's kind of the epitome of water finds its own level. If you want to attract rich people, you got to be a rich person, right? That's
So if you think of it nowadays, is if you go shopping on Rodeo Drive, you're likely to find people with money compared to go shopping with me at Walmart. Not as much money. So that's what their logic was in that. But the whole fact of, now let's get the ladies, and we have Betty Grable, and we have Lauren Bacall, and we have Marilyn Monroe. All known as sex symbols in their day.
And they were the it girls at the time.
Huge, and that's why this movie probably did so well. But now we have three attractive women moving to New York, and their only goal in this whole movie is to find a millionaire husband.
right. A rich husband, yeah.
Yeah, and they even break it down on how rich they have to be. You know, where oil is better than lumber.
Like if you're not wearing a necktie, you're kind of
I'm good. Come on, Marilyn.
then you're scum. Pretty much is that.
That's the case.
Now the guys were wearing buttoned-up shirts and they had their sports suit jacket on, but no, you don't have the necktie. You don't want to start associating with that kind of lower class individual.
Even the guy they think is like a gas pump jockey, as they put it, was wearing a sport coat and good pants. It's not like he's in a jeans.
Yeah.
So the adventure continues. They head off. They each find their man one way or another, and it turns out that no, money doesn't buy happiness. True love buys happiness, and they end up with poor men here, poor men there. Every time they go with a rich man, it doesn't work out. The rich men are cheating on their wives, etc., etc. So for back then, this is a pretty risque story. But you know what? I don't really think it was. You know what makes it risque? Today's standards makes it risque. Back then, this was just a comedy.
That's right. And it was a fun movie.
Well, here's the problem I have, is that I looked it up online, details about this movie, and there was one essay from a lovely lass, I'm sure, who said that, oh, this was anti-feminist and basically crap. And I'm thinking, you know what? This is a feminist movie.
Absolutely.
This was women saying, listen, this is the system in place right now, and we're going to work the system. Men and what we're supposed to do be damned, we're going to get what's owed to us. And if we have to crawl all over men to get what we want,
And that's what happens.
screw them, we're going to get it.
Right.
So I think it's a feminist movie. I think it's female empowerment. They're doing what they want to do.
I would agree. Yeah.
But do you think this kind of movie could be made nowadays?
I think it could. I think that you could make this movie now.
I think it would be backlashed terribly.
No. I think that if...
Here's the plot, Mark.
No, listen.
A bunch of attractive 18-year-old girls are moving to New York, and they're only going to try and marry a millionaire. Tell me that
In fairness,
people
they were-
would not jump all
In
over it.
fairness, in the movie they were 25.
Okay.
Approximately 25 years old.
25-year-old young women.
But reverse it. If it was...
No
if
one
it
would
was-
say a word.
If it was three men moving into a luxury condo to try to find rich...
No one would say a word.
No, they would. That's where the backlash would come from. If they were looking for rich women, I think you would get a backlash. However, 3 females moving into a luxury condo, I don't think you would have a backlash with them looking for rich men.
I think you can't say that this movie could not be done today. I think it could be done any which way. The problem is that back then they're looking at marriage as a sacred institution. But these women aren't.
No,
So these women are out for the money,
it's contractual.
and they're not saying we can only survive by the kindness of a wealthy man. No, they're after the man's money. They don't care about the man. By the end of the movie, we find out that they're unsuccessful because you can't be a gold digger. Marriage will only happen out of true love. I guess that was the message.
What they find out is true love trumps becoming a millionaire, because they still had a chance to marry a millionaire at the end, but they chose the poor guy for true love.
True love always prevails, ladies and gentlemen.
So they say. If there's any young rich women out there who have a lot of money, you reach me down below.
Edit.
You might want to edit that out.
So how is this movie a classic other than it being filmed in 1953?
Well, it's one of Marilyn Monroe's movies, and anything I think with Marilyn Monroe is going to be deemed classic.
Is that a good enough justification to call this movie a classic?
It was also the 3 top female stars at the time collaborating in the same movie. That was not a thing back then. It was always man, woman, leading men, leading woman. They very rarely ever had 3 women starring as the main characters of a movie back then.
But
This was one of the first ever.
was it cutting edge?
Put it this way, does it stand up? Would you in a year from now, if this was on, would you turn it off immediately, or would you say, oh yeah, I like this, I remember that?
To be honest, I didn't mind watching this movie, but unlike Singing in the Rain, which I would watch again, I don't think I would watch How to Marry a Millionaire again.
No, it's probably a one-off.
See? I've probably watched it 10 times. I probably watch it 2 or 3 times a year. It's not a movie that you have to concentrate a lot with. It's a lighthearted movie, and it's a fun movie. And that's kind of what I like in the old movies.
I'm going to be honest, I wouldn't be able to get past the orchestra beginning again.
Yeah, but you can skip that. That's what that play fast forward button's for. Mark, there's a play fast forward button on most videos.
All right, so this is a great movie if you plan to fast forward through it.
Wait, okay, so I remember at the beginning of this classic series we said it's got to have cultural relevance or technological innovation. So this was the first movie filmed in Cinescope. And Cinescope was a wide angle filming technique, and that's why you'll see lots of images of New York City and the ferries going by, the big buildings. And it was also the first movie where, I think it was NBC, they had a new television show where they ran old movies. This was the movie where they had to change the aspect ratio on the television because it wouldn't fit the television. So I guess
Based on our criteria.
technological innovation makes it a classic.
Not only that, you got to remember that this really was, back then, if you were a female star, you were usually singing or dancing. And these three actresses did none of that in this movie.
They didn't, but maybe they should have, because I thought it was kind of even keel through the whole thing. Maybe Marilyn Monroe's character was a little bit quirky enough to keep me interested, but the rest of it was kind of ho-hum, I think.
I would disagree, obviously, since I've seen it numerous times. But tell us what you guys think. Have you ever seen How to Marry a Millionaire? If not, why not check it out? Let us know in the comments down below. I really do enjoy the movie, and I said, it's on my computer all the time, and probably when I fly on my next trip, I'm probably going to be watching it during that flight. Because you know what? It won't offend anybody around me. Nothing's going to pop up on that screen that might, why is he watching that? Even if it's only for 5 seconds on the screen. There's no violence, there's no nudity, there's no nothing. It's just a movie in black and white. Who can get angry with that? Right? 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 Don't get angry with that.
Anybody?
I hope you liked it. If you did, why not give us a like, hit that subscribe button for more content, and maybe check out some of our other videos right now.